G'day viewers, Aussie here. If this is the sort of channel you like to watch where you can hear an Australian dribble bullshit about anything and everything, then grab that like button, take it out on a double date with the subscribe button, but make sure you hook him up with the ugliest Sheila you can possibly find that's that bad, even her own family won't fuck her. And you know that's got to be bad because I'm living down south. So, what's today's topic going to be? Cops. Let's talk about American cops. Vastly different from Australian cops. Yeah, most of the Australian cops travel in pairs. Well, they used to. I haven't been home in a while. That shit may have changed. The big difference is when you get pulled over in Australia, you get out of your car. That way the cop can, from the safety of his vehicle, he can assess what you're doing, drunk, drugged, slightly inebriated even, agitated, whatever. And he can make an assessment from the safety of his car that'll tell him what he might be getting himself into. Cops over here walk up to your car, you could be sitting there armed, and they've got to run from your fucking door all the way back to their vehicle or whatever else they can hide behind before they get fucking shot. I fucking dumbfounds me. So to me, the cops over here deal with a lot fucking more. Have not met a bad cop here to date. In fact, I've met some phenomenal fucking cops. A mate of mine, Doug, he's on my mates list. Actually, I think he even subscribed. Thankfully, it means I've got maybe 10. Anyway, so cops over here, the few run-ins I've had with them have been through with Mandy, with the bounty hunting, or just me in general doing the wrong fucking thing. Not overly bad, just traffic bullshit. But yeah, the first time I got pulled, I was going through a national park in Custer, South Dakota. And yeah, by the way, you'll have to excuse the way I'm dressed. I'm dirty because I fucking work for a living. Anyway, back to cops. I was going through this park in South Dakota, and I guess I was doing over the speed limit by about 30, whatever. So he pulls me over, or hooks up behind me, pulls me over, and comes up to the door, and I'd opened my door just out of habit because we're used to getting out of the fucking car. So as soon as I opened my door and spun around to the side, hand on gun, stay where you are, that type of bullshit. Only because he was mostly fucking nervous too, he wasn't being a dick. And he said, "Mate, you know what speed you were doing?" And I said, "No, I really don't." And he said, "Do you, it was 30 or 35 or some shit, possibly more, over the speed limit. And it's 20 through this zone because it's a national park. You can't read signs?" And I said, "Mate, I'm having trouble staying on this side of the fucking road." Immediately he started laughing and went, "Ah, man, you're an Aussie. I'm just going to give you a warning." And he, fair enough, man, he gave me a warning. We stood there bullshitting for maybe half an hour. He was in the military. In fact, most cops I've come across have done military time. So thank you for your sacrifices to all of you blokes. Anyway, so the next time I got pulled over by cops, no, I wasn't pulled over. I ran out of fucking petrol. Gas, I ran out of gas. And I pulled up on this, right next to the curb, on your side of the road here in the States. But it was on a bend, and people were coming around this fucking bend and having a hook around me pretty quick, or they were going to run up my ass. And no one's going to hit the picks that quick because they couldn't see me coming through. Anyway, so cop pulls up behind me, hand on gun, comes up to the car, touches the tail light, which I know a lot of them do. I think I know why, but I'm not sure. I think it's so they can leave a print on the car or some shit. Anyway, so comes up and says, "What seems to be the problem?" And I had my hands on the 10 to 2 position, because as much as I might have been having a bad day, most cops out there have had a worse fucking day. They've just dealt with some fucking retard that wants to try and be YouTube famous and hold up their little note on the door saying they're not going to wind down their window and they know their fucking rights, or they're an attorney in fucking training or going to law school or some shit. Or they just want to be an obnoxious fuck and try and get it on camera, which we've all seen. And then try and class it as racist. Fucking cockslots. Anyway, so he comes up to the window, and I had it already wound down. And he said, excuse me, sir, what seems to be the problem? And I looked at him and I was trying not to fucking laugh. And I said, mate, steering wheel's on the wrong fucking side of the car. And that was it. He fucking cut up laughing. He thought that was fucking great. So while he was laughing, and he was trying not to laugh, he was trying to call in a car with a, I guess a roo bar on the front, a bull bar on the front, and hoist me into the centre island so I'd be safe and not cause traffic problems. So they were great. More good fucking cops. One of the best stories I've got, I guess, I got pulled over by Highway Patrol once again in South Dakota. And I'd met a heap of cops by then because being at Sturgis, painting bikes, and you talk to a lot of cops there. But I never dealt with Highway Patrol. They're very, from the few I've met now to date, very uniformed in how they tackle things. Almost robotic in a lot of cases. Very much about the job and making sure they and you are doing the right thing. So he comes up, he knew he'd got me, I knew he'd fucking got me, it was fair. I must have been doing 10 or 15 over the limit. And handed him license, registration. He went back to the car, done a check, came back over, flipped open his little fucking book, started writing me out a ticket, whatever he was writing. And I just looked at him and said, mate, are you writing me a ticket to the Highway Patrolman's Bowl? And without even looking at me, he just said, Highway Patrolmen don't have balls. And as soon as he finished the sentence, he realised what he fucking said, started smiling, closed his book, pen back in the pocket, said, you have a good day, sir, slow down, and walked back to his patrol car. It was fucking great. I love that shit. Just another good cop. Knew he had his ass handed to him in a friendly manner, not being a dick at all. And the last one, I guess, was, it was midnight. I can't remember what fucking job I was working. Now, I don't drink anymore. But back when I was drinking, I'd had a beer, but I was coming home from one fucking job. It was late, it was about midnight. 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. No, it was midnight, because the cop mentioned it. Anyway, he said, so where are you going? You're the only car on the road. It's late. What are you up to? And I just said, mate, I'm actually going to a lecture. And he said, a lecture on what? And I said, drinking, smoking, and being sinful. And he said, who is giving a lecture at 12 o'clock at night about drinking, smoking, and being sinful? And I said, my fucking wife. He thoroughly enjoyed it. He got the humour. Did breathalyse me. I was under the limit, so I was good to go. Gave me a warning and sent me on my way. Just good cops. You got to understand that cops in general, especially here with all this COVID shit going on, the racist bullshit that's going on, these cops have to deal with fuckwits repeatedly during the fucking day. Some of these people are absolute cunts. They have no... I can't even explain them. They're just fucking stupid. Anyway, I'm trying to not offend anyone here with certain language, so I can't use standard words. Not the way we talk back home. Anyway, they've either been to a hit and run, or they've just been seen and had to witness or clean up a fucking car accident, or they've just been to a fucking house where someone's been murdered, or a girl down the road here who was kidnapped and fucking murdered. Now these cops have to go and deal with this shit, then go back out on the fucking road and deal with people like me, you, whoever. And they've got to try and process that and put that to the side before dealing with you. Some can do it really well, some cannot. They're going to roll up to you and they may have a fucking attitude. And it's not because you're being a dick. They've just witnessed something that's fucking horrific that me and you don't ever want to fucking see. So keep that shit in mind next time this cop comes up to you if he's not being as pleasant as you would fucking like. My opinion of the cops here is you're going to have some shitty cops. I've yet to meet one, but there's going to be shitty ones. In fact, a mate of mine, Jay at Highway 55, actually in fact, Betty Boot, that's a sign we're doing for him at the moment. he was a witness to one of his workers getting, actually not even really, I think it was a ticket or getting reprimanded for something. Jay rolled up not to ascertain anything, really, just standing by to make sure that his worker and the cop, everything was all good, making sure everyone was safe. And this cop was a fucking dick. I think he was reprimanded. He could have even been fired. Hopefully he was fucking fired. But you're going to meet bad cops. That's my point. But in general, most of them are good. They do a shitty fucking job. They don't get paid enough. Most of the cops you meet have done military time. They're the ones which you need to pay a little bit more respect to. Give them an extra 30 seconds or a minute. Try and make them smile and have a better fucking day than they possibly already had. But all the cops in general, should I hang out with 250 cops, or used to, every year at Sturgis? I haven't seen those boys for a while. My son back home, Matthew, is a cop. Worked in the military, Afghanistan, came back home, liked the regimented lifestyle, became a cop. That's why a lot of them do it. Give them your time. Let them know they're appreciated. Shit, this band I wear, Thin Blue Line, Blue Lives Matter, I wear that, and if I see a cop and I'm close enough to him, I give him one. Just to let him know that they are respected. People do fucking care. We do give a shit, and if something goes wrong, we will be there to support them. In fact, this town I'm in, they all know. So, that's it for today. Have a good one. Keep all that shit in mind. And remember that all these stories I tell, Australians are famous for tall stories. Sitting around a campfire, bullshitting, trying to outdo each other. So we embellish some stuff. We, bit of an exaggeration to make the story sound better. Everyone does it. So a lot of the stories I'm going to tell you here, they could be factual, they may not be. Let's work on the principle that 70% of them are bullshit and there's 30% truth, and you have to decipher it. Be safe, take care, and I'll see you after.